In this session, we will do a recap of the last 6 sessions. But before we do that, we will go through a very important topic in German language, that is to understand when is something in nominative, when is something in accusative or dative or genitive case. So German language has 4 cases, and you have to learn them if you want to learn German, or you have to understand how to use them. Maybe instead of learning what they mean, maybe how what is their effect. So two major effects of these cases are: one is the article change. For example, there is the nominative. So this is the definite article for masculine objects in nominative case, and in accusative it becomes den, in dative it becomes them, in genitive it becomes des. This is why you should know which case is it. Other thing is that adjective endings. So adjective endings depend on two things. First is whether it is after. So first you have to check, is the article being used before the adjective. Okay, if there is an article being used before the adjective, so with article and then without article, that is the first thing. Once you have that, you have to answer. So there are three things actually. Once you know whether article or not article, then you have to check whether it is nominative case, accusative case, dative case, or genitive case. And then if there is an article, then what kind of an article. So adjective endings depends on, normally if for me, on three things. So let us start. This is a disclaimer. Let's look at this 5 sentences. With these 5 sentences, I will try to help you understand what exactly is nominative, accusative, or dative case. I have not listed genitive over here because it is the simplest one to understand. That is why we will talk about it just when we are done with nominative, accusative, or dative. Okay. Then let's start with this sentence. I am Rohit. Okay. Now, if I have to just figure out details from the sentence, or if I have to check, okay, this is a statement, right? Then what could be the question which requires this statement? So if I say I am Rohit, the question can be, who are you, right? So if someone asks me who are you, I will say I am Rohit, right? So that I demands what, who kind of question, right? Then let's say someone hears this name Rohit and they may ask, who is Rohit? Right? Then I can say, I am Rohit, or maybe if you know me, you will say, he is Rohit, right? Or there Rohit is. So again, this one is who kind of question, right? So whenever it is who, the question is who that can replace the object, it is nominative. That is why when you are using the verb, sein, right? So when, let's say if you are saying ich and you have to use sein, it will be bin. Here also it is. So let's say if you have a name, let's say if you say Pascal, right? So here this one is also nominative, this one is also nominative, because they both, so the subject and the object, they both can be replaced by a who. So who is Pascal? Who are you, right? So whenever you can replace the entity, whether subject or object, with the help of a who, it is a nominative case. We talked about that. Let's look at what is. So I am, let's say not this one. So yes, so I am reading, right? So to read, the verb is lesen. So you can say ich lese, right? So this sentence is complete. Okay. So now if it's just this one, right? Ich lese, or it is just this one, I read, or I am reading. Again, how can you replace I? You can just say, you can take the activity to read. So you can say, who is reading, right? Who is reading. So again, you replace the I, the subject, here with who. So this will be in nominative case. So this is the action that is being done. Now, if you want to ask the question about this one, so I am reading the book Atomic Habits. So if you want to ask a question for this entity, how will you say? Will you say who is the book Atomic Habits? then the answer will be something else, right? So here you have to ask what, right? And what will you ask? What and the action. What are you reading? So here this entity will be replaced with the help of a what kind of question and not who. So whenever it is what, okay, so what is being done. So what, so what, when you are asking what, then it will be accusative case. Let's look at, so now let's look at this sentence. I am helping you. Okay, so here again, so who is helping? So I will say, so if you want to ask a question for this entity I, you will say who is helping, right? So again who, that's why this is nominative. Now what about this one? You cannot ask who, right? Who is helping? You will have to ask whom, right? So whom are you helping? Let's say, for example, if I say I am helping, again, let's say it's Marx, right? Instead of you, I am helping Marx. So if I say I am helping, then you will say, okay, whom are you helping, right? So Marx requires the question, whom are you helping? So whenever it is whom, okay, then it is dative, okay? Almost always, not always, but almost always, okay? It is dative. So we figured that out. So whenever it is who, it is nominative. Whenever it is what, it is accusative. Whenever it is whom, it is dative. Okay, having said that, let's look at another statement. So we looked at this one. So let's say I am reading the book Atomic Habits. Okay, let's say if I replace this reading with giving, still you can go by the same logic, right? So who is giving? I am giving. Okay, then what are you giving? So what, again, so again here with giving also, so it will be given. Ich gebe das Buch Atomic Habits, right? Again, what are you giving? The book. So again the logic applies over here as well, so it will be an accusative case. Now if you want to say, so I am giving, right, then the logical question will be, to whom are you giving the book, right? So I cannot just say I'm giving the book Atomic Habits. There has to be a person who is receiving the object, right, the book. So it will be I am giving, let's say if I say I am giving again Pascal, or not Pascal, let's say if I use a pronoun, right? So I will say I am giving, let's say if I just say some lady, okay, her. So I am giving her the book Atomic Habits. Okay, now if you have to ask a question with respect to this, you cannot ask who or her, right? You will have to ask whom are you giving the book Atomic Habits. Again whom, so this one will be in dative case. This is the reason when you have two objects in a sentence. So here two objects are, one is this book, another one is this person who is receiving. So we always call this one the direct object as it to be in accusative case, the indirect object to be in dative case, right? I hope you get the point. So her is the indirect object, this one is the direct object. So the direct object is in accusative case, indirect object is in the dative case. All right. Just to make you understand, if I just replace the book Atomic Habits and I only have her over here, now her will not be, if I just say I am giving her. Now in German, if you want to say this, you can say ich gebe. Now if you mean you are just giving like a person to someone, I know it sounds weird, but let's say if you're just saying this one, so she is sie, and sie in accusative is sie, in dative it is ihr. Now if you mean if you just write Z over here, that will be this one, right? Accusative one. Now this one will mean that you are giving away her, okay? But if you write ia over here, it will mean you are giving her something, okay? I hope you get the point. Now let's look at this sentence. So let's say if I say I am teaching German, again, I can be, if you want to ask a question for I, you will say who is teaching, right? Who is teaching? Then how can you replace German? You will ask, what are you teaching? Right? So again, what? So German here, it is an accusative case. Now if you want to say, so I say, if I say I am teaching German, now logical question, one of the logical questions is, whom are you teaching? Right? So here I'm teaching you German. So whom are you teaching? So this you is in dative case. Okay. Let's look at the next slide, which just presents this in a better way with better handwriting. So let's look at this one. Let me grab a better marker. So you have over here, I am Rohit. Who am I? Rohit, who is Rohit? Both are can be asked with who. So you have nominative, nominative. Then you have I am reading the book Atomic Habits. So I, who is reading the book Atomic Habits, nominative. Reading is the action. So what am I doing? Just telling you. So I want to think of this as accusative. Just, this is the action. What the action is being done. I am reading the book Atomic Habits. So the book, what is he reading, right? What am I reading? So this what will be accusative case. Then I am teaching German. Again, who is teaching German? Nominative. Am teaching, that is the action. Then what am I teaching? So that's why German is an accusative case. I am helping you. Who is helping you? Or so you like then that's why I is a nominative case. You. Whom am I helping or whom are you helping? That because whom, that's why dative case. Then I am teaching you German. Okay, so I again in nominative case. Who is teaching German? German. What am I teaching? Right? German. I'm teaching German. That's why accusative. Then this one over here. So you. So whom am I teaching German or whom are you teaching German? That's why it is in dative case. Let's look at the same thing in German. So how do you say I am Rohit? You will say ich bin Rohit. So again, wer bin ich? Right? Let me look at the next slide. It's much better over here. So ich bin Rohit. So again, ich is wer bin ich? So wer. So whenever you have where, you can replace the object, like ask the question something like, where, it is nominative. Whenever you can ask the question like was, right? So what, it is accusative. Whenever you can, the question can be like wem, right? It is dative. Also, whenever it is vain, sometimes, okay, it can also be accusative. But now you just need to remember these. If you want to go by the theoretical approach of understanding when is something in dative, when is something in accusative. Let's look at this one more time. So you have ich bin Rohit. Again, Rohit can be replaced by wer is Rohit. Ich can be replaced by wer bin ich. So wer, both are nominative. Ich lese das Buch Atomic Habits. Wer liest das Buch Atomic Habits? Nominative. Because wer. Das Buch Atomic Habits can be asked in a way. So was liest Rohit or was lese ich or was liest er. Right? So was, because that's why accusative. Ich unterrichte Deutsch. Again, ich, nominative. So why? Because wer unterrichtet Deutsch. So ich can be asked in such a way. Wer unterrichtet Deutsch? Deutsch. Was unterrichte ich? So the action is being, so that's why it is Deutsch in accusative case. Ich helfe dir, right? So wer hilft wem? Check. Who is helping whom? So the who is ich, that is nominative. Whom, that is dir. So you in singular, direct and informal scenario. So dir. Okay. Informal scenario, it would have been in. So dir wem helfe ich, right? I say ich helfe, then but you will ask, okay, wem helfst du or wem helfe ich then? Because wem, that's why dative. Ich unterrichte Deutsch. But if I say ich unterrichte dir Deutsch, so dir, whom am I teaching German or Think I forgot to replace this with German, so it will be wem unterrichte ich Deutsch. I hope you get it. Now, so that was nominative, accusative, dative. When do you have exactly have genitive? This is very easy to remember or understand. Whenever you want to say something like, whenever your statement is like this, someone's someone or someone's something or something's something. What do I mean by this? If you want to say, you know, car's color or color of car, right? So how do you say this? What is color? You say the Farbe, and car it is Auto. Auto is das Auto, but here it is in negative case, so it will become this, and because auto is neutral, it will become autos. So whenever it is something something, or it can be someone someone, right? If you want to say, if you want to say let's say if you want to say Lisa's Vater, right? If you want to say father of Lisa, so you can say der Vater Lisa's, or you can say Lisa's Vater, right? Both ways are fine. So you add s, you don't add apostrophe. That's how German language is. You don't have to add apostrophe. So whenever the framing is like someone 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 something or someone something, you have to use genitive. uh, what I want to teach you now is just that whenever you are using genitive, actually you are supposed to know, I believe, I think A to E, I think you should know. uh, but whenever it is, so I say you use genitive, right? So you want to use, you want to have that this something of someone, right? So for example, the Farbe, das Auto, right? This is the something something something, so the color of the car, right? What exactly do you have over here? You're describing a relationship, right? When it is, for example, you have Lisa and Vater, again you are describing a relationship.